Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum and I'm here today at the Rock Island Auction Company taking a look at a couple of the guns that they're going to be selling in their upcoming May of 2019 premiere auction. Today we have a rather unusual handmade needle-fire pistol. This dates to 1850 if we are to believe the date written on it, and I don't see any reason not to. Manufactured by a German gunsmith by the name of Knoch, and it has this very unusual lifting block sort of action. Let me go ahead and show you how that works. So the idea is we have a single shot pistol there and a sort of lever action locking system with a fairly stiff spring locking it in place. So once you unlatch that, when you pull down the lever, you lift up the breech block. And it's hollow in the front, of course, with a little hole in the back for the firing pin, the needle, to go through, and you would lift it up like this. You would stuff a paper cartridge in there, lock it back down, and then you actually use this lever, push this forward to cock the system, and then pull the trigger to fire it. Now, unfortunately, this one has some mechanical issues inside, which we'll see in just a moment, and it doesn't actually function, but that's how it was supposed to. The builder of the gun was kind enough to inscribe his name and city on the top. So A. Knoch in Munich, which would be Munich. I was unable to find any good reference to this gunsmith, so I don't know what his first name is. I don't know what else he might have manufactured. He did also leave this marking on the side of the block, which hopefully includes that 1850 date that helps us nail down when this actually dates to. Nothing else on the other side, though. Now we're going to go ahead and take this thing completely apart so you can see all the internals. I'm going to start by taking out these two screws so I can take off the lever and the breech block. There's that one. And that screw. That screw is the one thing that held the breech block in place, so I can pull that out. And then we can pop this loose of its retaining spring and take the lever off. We then have this metal plate at the bottom, which is held in a very unusual way. It has these two sliding covers that what they're supposed to do here is slide over these two little tabs. So if I push them both backward, this plate comes off. There we go. So there's that. And then we have two screws holding the trigger assembly in place. There we go. There's that one and that one. And then this assembly comes out. And then the last thing holding the barrel and a little screw cover. And then the last thing holding the barrel in is this wedge. Pull that out, and then very delicately we can pull the barrel assembly out. So there's the wood, the stocks and grip. It has this cool little metal insert box in it, right there, to retain the breech block. The rest of this is pretty fragile. In fact, you can see it's been cracked right there. Fortunately, there's a metal box behind that. The wood inletting is fairly crude. This is more common than you might expect to see, even on things like broom handle Mauser, good quality factory broom handle Mauser stocks, holster stocks. You'll find that the wood inletting on the inside is not nearly to the same standard as it is on the outside. Now, our barrel assembly here is rifled. Pitted in there, but it is rifled. And then the way this is supposed to work is we have our needle here, which is broken, and it's connected to this bar, and that's kind of frozen up in the gun. What's supposed to happen, though, is that slot allows you to use this lever right here to recock the striker. So use this lever. When you push it forward, that hooks right into there, like so, and that would pull the striker back, and then it will lock on this sear. Let's see, sorry, this sear right here. That's a pivot point, and this is supposed to pivot up and down, and it's also kind of frozen in place. And then the idea is when you pull the trigger, it's going to pull this block up, which pushes on this bar, which then pivots like so, pulls this down, releases the firing pin, which is on the spring, snaps forward, and fires the pistol. It's actually a pretty simple system. It's just unfortunately not in the greatest condition anymore. The one last element on here we didn't look at is this spring, and that is actually the spring that puts tension on the lever. So this lever sits here and snaps up past that spring. You can see the little cutout for it right there. Well, there you go. There is a dissection of an 1850 German needle fire pistol. Needle fire is one of those cool systems that existed really only during this transition between the percussion cap and the self-contained cartridge, metallic cartridge. So of course you have the Dreyse rifles in the 1840s, going through the Chassepot rifles in the 1860s, and by the 1870s this sort of thing is pretty much gone. But it is, again, it's a cool intermediate system. So this one's not in such great shape, but it's not like there are a whole lot of them out there either. If you'd like to have this one in your own collection, it is, of course, coming up for sale at Rock Island. So if you take a look at their catalog page, you can find their pictures, their description, their price estimate, all that sort of stuff. And you can bid for it online if you're interested. You can also check out everything else they have in the upcoming sale. Thanks for watching.